TEP production. Giving out instruction. Hey. I just keep it intact, this is a fact, right and exact, I won't step back. Admiration is the feeling that inspires your brain to make you gain self-knowledge, not go insane. I'm Satan's antagonist, acknowledge what I speak. I cannot be duplicated cause I'm born unique. Brother Kareem told me if I want it, I gotta take it. Kareem told me if we need it, we gotta make it. Nasir just said stand up and be a man. You're planning to fail if you fail to plan. Keep your circle tight, know your plight, fight with all your might. Study hard, stay in shape and everything will be alright.
This beat is slapping, before I make it happen I just wanna ask, may I rise higher with fire, made brighter than make sharp lines, may climb and rhyme and may timing like sirens, may my thoughts may spray as I sway, may play with the day, may each bar may spark from the dark, may making the arc, may I shift, may gifted with riffs, may lifted no myth, may move clean, smooth in between, may carving out the scene, may words guide my glide as the tide, may ride on the inside, may minds free, may deep in the key, may shape in the sea, may I shine, may prime in my rhyme, may throw in the sign, may break norms, may storms in the red form, may lightning is born.
Let's go.
I don't know how I got here. I just know I'm never going back. Just when I thought things were already crazy, it gets worse.
I'm back.
Quan?
Sapphire struggles to deal with her husband's alleged betrayal and coming to terms with Quan being alive after thinking he was deceased. Devante tries to keep a level head while dealing with family issues and unexpected disloyalty. Memories of Dre enters Devante's life in a way that he would have never imagined.
Fire Part 2, the finale.
Get your copy of Fire. It's definitely a must-read. If you enjoy hood books, this one is it. Just like the title of the book, it's officially Fire. Get it on Amazon, paperback or Kindle.
Good evening. This is the Enemy's Public, and I am Brother Nasir. I am accompanied with my brother and comrade, T. Wriggles. Before we get started, I want to say peace. Greetings to Alicia Dion. Thanks for tapping in. I appreciate it. I want to say greetings to my wife. I know she's watching because she's always watching. That's the executive producer, a very intricate part of making what the Enemy's Public do. And my better half, the wife, the one who keeps me grounded, keeps me sane, Mrs. James. I want to say peace to my brother T. Wriggles. Thank you for joining me this evening, brother.
Man, it's an honor, Brother Nasir. It's an honor to be with you today. And I know we're gonna dig deep, with the topic here. Man, I'm excited. I can't wait.
Yes, we're gonna get into self-entitlement. And I'm just asking a rhetorical question. Who deserves preferential treatment? A self-entitled person possesses a exaggerated, often narcissistic belief that they deserve special treatment, superior status, or automatic compliance with their wishes, regardless to their actions. This mindset often leads to chronic disappointment, strained relationships, and high levels of stress when reality fails to meet their unrealistic expectations. And narcissistic tendencies. They believe that they are special and entitled to favorable treatment, which leads to chronic disappointment because they expect the world to cater to them. They are frequently unhappy or frustrated, and they have a lack of empathy. They fail to consider the needs and feelings of others. That's what a narcissistic person do. And they also have boundary issues. A narcissistic person have boundary issues. A self-entitled person have boundary issues. They may violate social norms or personal boundaries, expecting special exceptions. And as a way to deal with entitlement, you have to set clear boundaries and directly address unacceptable behavior by telling them that they are narcissistic and they are self entitled. And you and we should highlight the negative consequences, got to point out their selfishness that leads to frustration and damaged relationships. You ever notice how a person could come up to one of us and feel that they can tell us to do something or ask us what we're doing? That's the crazy part. Somebody can come up to you and ask you what you're doing and expect you to answer that question. Remember the lady in Central Park, Amy Goodman? What's her name? Was it Goodman?
Not too. I'm not too sure. Who's this?
It's the lady in Central Park. Okay. Someone asked her to leash her dog because the dog was out of control. Okay, snapping at people. And a brother who was there, he's a photographer. He was taking pictures and getting video footage of like flowers and birds and stuff. So, photographer. He asked her, could she leash her dog? Instead of her understanding that her dog is out of control, she said to the brother, I'm going to call the police and tell the police that you are harassing me and that you're threatening me. And she actually did it while he was filming her. And you should have seen the theatrics. I should have pulled that up. You should have seen the theatrics. She turned into a very fearful woman, as if the brother was actually attacking her. Crying on the phone. She turned the waterworks on, my brother T. Wriggles. She turned the waterworks on. The police showed up, questioned both of them, and she ended up being arrested for false, malicious false charges. Weaponizing the police, lost her job and everything because of what she did. But that's a self-entitled person. And most parks tell you you have to walk with your dog on a leash because nobody, I had pit bulls, Labradors, German Shepherds, Rottweilers. Those were my dogs, okay, that I'm used to. But I'm not used to nobody else's dog running around me.
Mm.
So people say, well, it's okay. No, it's not okay. That dog has its own mind. You mess around, that dog attack somebody, and then you're liable for it. But nobody wants, even though if you are liable, nobody wants to be bit by a dog. Somebody's out of control dog. And a self-entitled person won't understand that because they're narcissistic. They want preferential treatment. And you also find that in law enforcement. They want compliance. They want people to comply with their oftentimes, unlawful requests and orders. We're going to cover that. And we're going to cover self-entitlement with specific people who think that they deserve preferential treatment, all because that's what they want. That's just the reason. They want preferential treatment. They want something and they feel they should have it, and they feel they are better than other people. Because I'm who I am, I deserve preferential treatment. I'm self-entitled. I'm entitled to everything and you're not. There's people that exist in this world like that. All over this world.
Yeah.
If you want to, do a spill before, we get into it, please do.
Well, I just looked up what you were referring to. Her name was Amy Cooper.
Cooper, yes. Cooper, yes.
Yeah, refusing to leash her dog in Central Park, as you were saying. And there was the brother,
His
Christian.
last name was Cooper. His name is Cooper too, right?
Yeah, Christian Cooper,
yes, sir.
who was bird watching.
Right.
And was threatened by her dog that wasn't on a leash. So I guess it said 911 was called, and here she later apologized, and the charges against her for filing a false report were dismissed in 2021.
The reason why they were dismissed is because the brother failed to cooperate. That's why they was dismissed. There's no need of doing it. And especially, with a white woman, like if it was one of us, the state would take over the charges and move with the charges anyway.
Yeah.
Because the state can do that if they want. If it's that malicious, if it's that heinous, the state will take over the charges and they would, move with the prosecution anyway, which they should have done, because just imagine if the brother wasn't recording and they arrived and they took her side. A lot of things have happened, especially with the history of Caucasian women, playing a victim when it comes to people.
Right.
Especially brothers. Brothers got it's brothers, Emmett Till was killed because of that.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? He was killed because of a woman saying somebody did something to her, but she felt threatened by someone. And, law enforcement, they would show up and they would take the person who's called side instead of that, instead of looking into it and doing an investigation and see if there's any validity to what this person said.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm looking at, and it says the aftermath here. Just simple Google thing, right? And it says Amy Cooper was fired from her job, briefly surrendered her dog to a rescue group, and faced charges of filing false reports, which were eventually dismissed. And then it says, in New York City, dogs must be leashed in public places, with the exception of designated off-leash hours, and it gives the hours. So the brother was right. So I don't understand where Miss Cooper here, wants to mouth off to her brother or just people. Maybe she was having a bad day.
Yeah, I could say that she was having a bad day, but a lot of times people feel self-entitled. They just feel they have more rights than others, because if there's rules in the park, I would gather the rules are for everybody.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? The rules are for everybody. Everybody should follow the rules. Most parks, you know, they put signs up and people know that the signs are valid and people should just leash their dogs. And if you're
Yeah.
walking your dog on the streets in public, automatically your dog's supposed to be leashed. You're
Yeah.
supposed to be able to pull your dog away from people if it if it misbehave. Now, this
Yeah.
first video we're going to get into is a police chief talking about the firing of 3 Wilmington, North Carolina officers for hate-filled speech. You know I gotta trigger you, bro. You know you're the perfect person for this stream. I gotta trigger you first before I calm you down. You know how that goes.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see what's going on. You know what I mean? Because you're really good at that.
Has fired 3 veteran officers for what he calls hate-filled speech, caught on a patrol car camera. Internal investigation accused officers Kevin Piner and Brian Gilmore and Corporal Jesse Moore of violating standards of conduct and using inappropriate slurs, including the N-word. Investigators say that Piner described killing Black people in the new Civil War, saying, quote, "Wipe them off the leap map." David Begnaud spoke to the chief about this, and David, he's taking this beyond his department. Quite a message.
He sure is, Gail. Good morning. Donnie Williams is the first Black police chief for the Wilmington, North Carolina Police Department. And this week was his first day on the job. And do you know what the first thing was that he did on his first day? He fired these officers. Chief, one of the officers wanted to resign, but you said, no, I'm going to fire you. Why?
Because people are tired of officers being involved in misconduct and walking away quietly. I wanted to fire them to make sure that their chances of being rehired again were minimized. These individuals do not deserve to be.
Now, my brother, if you want me to stop it at any time, just inform me and I will do so. But this officer, this chief did the right thing, because if they had did this with Sean Grayson, perhaps Sonia Massey would still be alive.
Most definitely. And could you turn it up, Brother Nasir? Because it's kind of low.
Let me see. I think this is a low playing video. This video is kind of low, bro.
Okay.
I have it all the way up. But if Sonia Massey would probably be alive if he was the chief in Illinois.
I totally agree. I totally agree. And see, some people would say that, you know, we always need a dog in the fight. And this man right here on the screen absolutely did the right thing.
Yes, he did. Now, these officers were, they were caught on body cam. I mean, I'm going to play it. You'll get the gist. I'm going to finish playing, but if you need me to stop it, just say stop it, brother.
Okay.
Be in law enforcement.
Documents released by the Wilmington Police Department state that the conversations were discovered during a routine video audit of Officer Piner's patrol car. He is heard telling Corporal Moore that he is, quote, ready for a civil war and plan to buy an assault rifle to, quote, start slaughtering them in words. During a phone call, Moore refers to a woman who he claims was resisting arrest as the N-word multiple times. And he says she needed a bullet in her head right then. Did these officers try to fight you on releasing their files?
They did.
Do you have any indication that anyone at any point tried to put this to the side so it wouldn't embarrass your agency?
No, they brought it to my attention immediately once they found it.
According to the investigators, each officer admitted it was their voice on the video, but blamed their comments on the stress of the job, arising from the stress of today's climate in law enforcement. CBS News reached out to the police union and the 3 officers for comment, but never heard back. It's one thing to fire the officers, but you want more than that. You want to foreseeably prevent them from working in law enforcement again in the state of North Carolina, correct?
That is correct. Normally, when officers are involved in misconduct, they'll resign and they'll slip away quietly. And in some cases, they'll be able to maintain their certification and get a job with another agency. In this case, these individuals do not deserve deserve to be in law enforcement.
Chief Williams even asked the district attorney to review cases that the 3 fired officers had been involved in to look for.
And if they have enough time, man, brother, if you don't fire them, they also can walk away with a pension. So he really stuck it to them. If you can't get your pension if you're fired. So he made sure they didn't go to another agency and they wasn't walking away with no damn pension. That's what I like. Why he did it. I like that. Because they don't deserve no damn pension, brother. I mean, to still get paid from the taxpayers after doing that? Nah, they don't deserve no pension.
Nah, they shouldn't. Oh, we got an echo.
For biases. The DA told CBS News 89 cases are under review, and some have already been thrown out.
Do you think you need more people who are Black to be on your force?
I would say yes, we also need more females to be on our force. But the color of a person's skin is not going to determine the color of their heart. You have white officers that are good officers. You have white officers that are bad officers. You have Black officers that are good officers. And you also have Black officers that are bad officers. So the color of your heart is more important to me than the color of your skin.
Boy, how much do we love Chief Williams? That's such a good point. Maybe we all take that message from him. But I got to tell you, David, listening to those words was so hard to hear, even though they were bleeped out, that is a police officer on the force who is supposedly to protect and serve all of us. That's very tough to hear and painful.
Thankfully, it doesn't represent all officers. Exactly. Have a Chief Williams in every department.
Yes. You could take notes from how Chief Williams operates. Thank you very much, David.
Now we're going to go to the press conference in Wilmington, North Carolina, on the firing of the 3 officers for racist comments. This is the press conference. Move on a little bit. I don't want to. Let's move up. I'm just gonna move it along. I don't want to have them standing around, so I'm gonna move it up.
Wait for a few questions. And the time has elapsed, we will cut you off. And so at this time, we're going to make way for Chief Williams.
Council members, staff, media, and more importantly, today is a challenging day for me because as your police chief, one of my first major tasks is to announce the termination of 3 veteran women police officers. The reason they're terminated is for misconduct. While terminating an employee is never easy, there are times when it's necessary. And today, with the concurrence of our city council and at the direction of City Manager Sterling Cheatham, we will be releasing a summary of the internal investigation of these 3 officers, including termination letters, written comments from me, including direct correction, and other information that is public under state personnel laws. Why are we releasing this information in this way? It's because of the times that we're in. And it's the right thing to do. Normally, personnel laws allow only a small amount of information to be made public. However, in exceptional cases, when it's essential to maintain public confidence in the administration of the city and our police department, more information may be released. This is the most exceptional and difficult case I have encountered in my career. We must establish new reforms for policing here at home and throughout this country. Yesterday, we we officially terminated Officer James Gilmore, Corporal Jesse Moore II, and Officer Kevin Piner as a result of an internal investigation that uncovered extensive violations of the department's manual of rules, policies, which included our standard of conduct, criticism, and use of inappropriate language. This investigation started as a result of a supervisor's routine inspection of a video from Officer Piner's in-car camera. No one told us about this. We discovered it on our own because we had processes and policies in place. After reviewing the video,
See what they do, my brother T. Wriggles, is they audit every so often. They do an audit of the body worn cameras. You know what I'm saying? Looking and seeing if things, you know what I'm saying, are being done correctly, which is a good thing to do audits. It's a good thing to check those cameras ever so often because you can't erase them. Once it's recorded, it goes into a system. So they do an audit of every camera every so often. That's how they found it. Nobody came to them about it. Nobody came to them about it. They were actually talking and they had their cameras on, and that's how they caught that.
That's good to have audits. I totally agree.
And you know, that's a good thing.
Video, the supervisor discovered two conversations that Officer Piner had. One with Officer Gilmore and the other with Corporal Jesse Moore II. The conversations included disrespectful language, hate-filled speech, and referring to Black people as the N-word. They also criticized me on these videos. Several Black officers within the agency have made negative comments about individuals outside of the agency. They made negative comments about our Black Lives Matter protest and were critical of our response. The 46-minute and 12-second conversations were brutally offensive and deserve immediate attention. You will find more details about the investigation in the public documents that we're releasing today. As a result, I have recommended that none of them be eligible for rehire in any position with the City of Wilmington. We will also notify the North Carolina Criminal Justice and Standards Commission on their behavior. The commission determines whether or not an officer can maintain their state certification to practice law enforcement. We will also consult with our district attorney, Ben David, regarding their sustainability as witnesses, any biases they may have shown towards criminal defendants, and potential charges. Ben is unavailable, but he spoke to me personally on the phone earlier and I'll read a statement from him.
Can you imagine the credibility that they lack and they were doing police work, you know, locking people up, going to court, testifying? Can you imagine that, bro? If that's the way they feel, they lack credibility as an officer.
Yeah,
These are
man.
people who are going to court and being self-righteous as if they're the good guys.
Yeah, and you know how the rule goes, they're always innocent first, no matter what, you know, and so, you know, everyone's going to basically back the badge, as they say. Shouts out to this chief here, you know, actually having the integrity, even though that now, you know, this type of action, you know, his life is at stake. So,
definitely,
you know, salute to him.
Definitely. You know, he's showing like fortitude, brother. You know, integrity and fortitude, because he's getting them decertified. That means they can't take their certifications to another department. And not only that, he's going to be the what you call it, the reference. And you know what he's going to say when they call him. If you know, they wouldn't be looking for a job at that department if I felt they were suitable for the job. I fired them. That means that they don't cut it.
Right.
That's it. You know, I think every officer that's fired should be decertified. No officer should be able to, because they're fired, go to another department. No, that should be it. Automatically decertification. If a police chief feel that you especially if you know, regardless of the case, if a police chief feel like they should fire you, unless it's on some bias something, you know, you got a racist cop or prejudice cop. If they just don't like the officer and they fire him, then that's different. But in this case, in most case scenarios, when cops are fired, they deserve it. Most case.
Yeah, I agree. Have throwing racial slurs out there, no matter if it was a brother or you doing it to someone, an Asian or a Latin person, whatever it is, you know, that's totally unacceptable. And I agree with you. Now, no, you should be fired. Now it's time for you to find another occupation. You're not fit to
Right.
be an officer of the law.
I don't think if you're fired from the police department, if you have that type of biases, you shouldn't even be a security guard because you're going to take it there too.
Yeah.
Not as much as a security guard, and probably lower than McDonald's because you'll probably say, you know, this dude don't deserve no cheese. You don't deserve no cheese on his burger.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give him a half a slice because people think like that, bro. People really
No,
think.
no, that's real. No, that's real. They'll spit in the soda, and you think it's bubbles.
Exactly. So you know, maybe they should. I would say go work at a funeral home, but then they'll probably desecrate the body. Some people just that evil, bro.
Yeah, hey, yeah. I'm not putting
Just that
past
evil.
anything by anyone now.
Indeed.
There are certain behaviors that one must have in order to be a police officer, and these three individuals have demonstrated that they do not possess it. When I first learned of these conversations, I was shocked, saddened, and disgusted. There is no place for this behavior in our agency or our city, and it will not be tolerated. Our agency is hurting today because individuals who we believe honored their oath of office violated, and they ripped at every fabric of our family. Please pray for us as we heal and become better because of this challenge. Please, please, don't judge our officers based on the conduct of a few. We have a lot of officers that are out there risking their lives every day. And when you think about officers risking their lives, you probably think of the action stuff, the gun battles. Every time an officer gets in that intersection and directs traffic, we make people get back and forth safely, they're risking their lives. We care and love this community, both white and black, and other races also. These people care. That's why they went through all the training. That's why they went through the process to join this agency. In an effort to heal, I've put together a plan to move forward from this. I will be meeting with every officer individually during the month of July. I'm not meeting with them in groups of 20. I'm going to carve out time to sit down with every officer one-on-one for at least 15 to 20 minutes. We will engage in mandatory implicit bias training for everybody, all 350 employees. If you've had implicit bias training already, you will get a refresher course. It's not negotiable, it's mandatory.
Can you imagine a person who has to get that type of training? You have to be trained. You have to be trained to be unbiased, because if someone is unbiased, that is happening natural, and it's happening. It's sometimes it's learned behavior, and there's sometimes people just look at people a certain way. It's learned behavior, and that's all they know. And sometimes they believe what propaganda say about a certain person. Sometimes that happens. They have that. Have that prejudices.
Look, I tell you like this, because you know I'm going back to what you said. I agree with the firing, right? I totally do, because you know there's police academies all throughout the United States of high schoolers, you know, aspirations to be a police officer. So, you know, it gives the youngsters a chance to, you know, clean up the image that police officers have, right? Because there's some bad apples, and they've got some training day type of officers lingering around. But if they're able to get rid of those and just have really genuine people that, just, well, enforce the law. No, don't get me wrong, enforce the law, but just good, really decent people. Hey, this whole police thing could work. You know what I mean?
That's the truth. Peace, my brother. Milestone Thoughts, my brother Big Dog Philly OG. Thanks for tapping in. Really appreciate it. I agree with you, brother. But if when you're fresh out the academy, before you go on your own, they put you with a field training officer.
Mm.
And if that field training officer has biases and he don't go with departmental policy, a lot of them telling you, now we're not doing that. We're going to do this. You're going to get killed doing this, doing that. Departmental policies are put in place for a reason.
Mm.
It's the policy of the department. Okay. And it's training. But if your FTO is out here being a midnight marauder, violating people's rights, being racist, being prejudiced, just being hateful towards anybody he or she encounter, that FTO is going to train you to be that way, because that's your field training officer training you how to behave in the field.
Mm.
And if you don't think for yourself, he's going to replicate himself.
Mm.
Reproduce himself with you. So I would say the best thing for you to do is go with departmental policy to teeth. Nothing outside departmental policy. That means like your conduct. They got a certain type of conduct. They tell you're not supposed to curse at the people you encounter, the citizens. You're not supposed to curse at them. You're supposed to have professionalism. Just maintain that.
Right.
Courtesy, you know what I'm saying? You supposed to maintain that. If you don't maintain that, you're acting unbecoming of an officer. But field training officers train you other than that.
Yeah.
When they put you with him or her, they train you on. It's supposed to be training you on the ethics of being a police officer, but oftentimes they're training you to basically be them all over again.
Mm.
And if you're not careful, you'll get jammed the hell up. If you're not careful, unless the person that's training you is the type of officer that goes strictly by departmental policy. Most officers don't go by departmental policy. Most of them don't, because if they did, so many rights wouldn't be violated.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So many rights would not be violated.
Yeah.
Yes, I did, my brother Milestone Thoughts. That was crazy. You know what? We're probably gonna talk about that tomorrow.
We will launch
They handcuffed the brother and just straight up executed him, but they didn't depend on that other angle. They only showed that angle, but somebody else recorded it. They didn't show the brother cuffed. They tried to say he was resisting and fighting them, but the brother was cuffed, and they just shot the brother execution style right in the back of the damn head, bro.
In the head?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. That's execution style. I know what that's all about.
And that was crazy, bro. But we're gonna,
That's an ordered hit.
We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that, bro.
Cultural education series through small group dialogues. We want to include citizens in our hiring process. And if there's an opportunity we can include citizens in the policing process, we want to do that.
See, he's doing a lot of cleaning up. Because he's saying he's going to include citizens in the hiring process, that's how it should be. If somebody's going to be walking around your community as law enforcement, that person should be endorsed by the community.
Yeah. Look, I'm an advocate.
And the community should have the police department. Every police department should have a civilian review board. And every officer should be reviewed annually how this person is doing. If he got complaints on him, you know what I'm saying, and people complaining about him being abusive, he's not doing his job. Civilian review board vote to fire his ass or her ass.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to establish.
Look, and I'm so down with. And I'm so down with why if the citizens of the community is going to be hiring police officers, which is a good idea. You know, you get to pick out of whatever high school or whatever the academy that they come out of, right? Okay, you get to pick those. And the ones that get picked should be from that community. It shouldn't be someone from California trying to be a cop in Wisconsin. You have enough people in Wisconsin, right, to be cops there. And I swear that police officer now, not only is he known around in that community, do you know what I mean? There's so much more respect now, you know, and he'll know everyone. I think that's important.
That's very important. And I think not only California, I think it should be in the community altogether. Nobody from, I'm in New Jersey, nobody in Seagirt or Pleasantville or Tom's River should come to New Brunswick and be a cop. Two different cultures. You should live in the community, come from the community if you're going to be law enforcement. Why? You can't convince me that there's a genuine concern for this city and you're not from here. You can't. Not if you're here throwing people around, doing what a lot of cops do and then go back traveling 15, 20 miles home, resting well because you did dirt somewhere else. Nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going, okay, if you are going home in the community that you police, got to be careful. You can't be dirty. You can't be dirty. If your home is in the community that you're policing, all you're doing is going across town or one of the streets you patrol, you live on, you got to keep your head right. You got to be right. Why? Because the people who you are policing is your neighbor. And you got to face that neighbor. But a lot of cops, they travel 5, 10, 15, 20 miles to go home. I can understand, you know, if they say, well, if you going to be a cop here, you have to move here. It's simple. They pay you enough to do it. Especially if you like move up in the ranks. You got money, they pay you enough to do it.
Yeah.
We will increase our community engagement activities once we get past COVID-19. And I will assist our city council with the exploration of a citizen review board.
Okay.
Lastly, we will be filing a petition in which we will ask the court to review whether or not the video in this case should be released. The law requires a judge to make that determination, and we will support the judiciary by bringing the matter before the court and supplying any information or other documents the court may desire. This is to the media from.
So this chief want to expose it all, bro, because he actually want the tape to be released of them and their racist comments. Because if it is released and that becomes national news, nobody's going to hire those cops. That's what he want. You don't want them rehired. No,
I I can't really hear him, so I'm gonna go by your points. So if that's what he's pushing, okay, this, shouts out to this brother, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, law enforcement, I know for sure LAPD and LA County Sheriff would not like this dude in their precinct.
Baltimore wouldn't either. They wouldn't like him. Baltimore wouldn't like him. LAPD wouldn't like him. New York wouldn't like him. Chicago wouldn't like him. They wouldn't like him. No, they wouldn't like this brother.
Right.
They would not like this brother right here. Now, we're going to move on from this to my neck of the woods in New Jersey, Lakewood, and some other type of self-entitlement. And the question still remains, who deserves preferential treatment? Who deserves it? Let's check it out, brother.
On Monday, officers from the county prosecutor went to the upscale Olive Court home of Rabbi Zelman and Zipporah Sorotskin and arrested them for theft by deception of more than $338,000 in Medicaid, food stamps, rental assistance, and SSI. Also arrested on the same charges at their home on Blue Jay Way, Mordecai and Yaakov Breskin for alleged theft of almost $586,000 in welfare benefits.
I'm from NJTV News. Could we talk to you, please?
No one answered questions at the Hadassah Lane home of Shimon and Yaakov Nussbaum, arrested by federal agents, and Rachel and Mordecai Sorotskin, charged by the FBI with collecting federal benefits despite earning millions. On Wednesday, officers swooped in and arrested 3 more couples charged with the same offenses. On Monday, officers from the county prosecutor went to the upscale Olive Court home of Rabbi Zelman and Zipporah Sorotskin.
You see these homes?
Hey, that's what I was about to say.
See these homes collecting welfare and Medicaid, bro, and food stamps.
I'm taken back because that was the first thing I noticed. I was like, wow, this is a really nice crib. What are y'all on welfare for? Woo.
Just I guess they feel they can do it. That's it. They feel they can do it.
Shouts out to the cops that caught this.
And arrested them for theft by deception.
That was just that was weird. That part of the video was kind of weird, bro.
Yeah, that's
we didn't need
that's
all
different.
that.
That's different.
A little too much graphics.
When the word spreads in the community that this can happen, then people get panicky.
Rabbi Moshe Weisberg says Lakewood's Orthodox Jewish community is in a panic after law enforcement busted 7 couples in connection with a welfare fraud sting. On Monday, officers from the county prosecutor went to the upscale Olive Court home of Rabbi Zelman and Zipporah Sorotskin and arrested them for theft by deception of more than $338,000 in Medicaid, food stamps, rental assistance, and SSI. Also arrested on the same charges at their home on Blue Jay Way, Mordecai and Yaakov Breskin for alleged theft of almost $586,000 in welfare.
Oh my
These
God.
are the same people that will point at, bro, again, I'm with the delineation, but if you're going to point the finger at fraud, you should point it everywhere it's at. Now they're talking about the Somalians and all these other people, Africans who are scamming. These people are scamming too. They're scamming in the millions.
Yeah.
They earned, the other last video said they earned millions.
Yeah.
Earned millions. And they were still collecting all this food stamps, Medicaid, giving free healthcare. That's Medicaid, free healthcare, and rental assistance and food stamps.
How do you pull this off in a very prestigious neighborhood? Like it said, it was upscale. right? That's like
Bro.
someone living in Beverly Hills and you're on food stamps, Medicaid. You know what I mean? You're getting, benefits that you live in Section 8. Like what?
Lakewood is one of the, in South Jersey. That's South Jersey. That's one of the that's Lakewood is in Ocean County, down by Seaside Heights and when in that area. And it's a upscale. It's not like Bergen County up in Saddlebrook and all that, but because that's North Jersey. But this is an upscale community. Not too many of us are there. I just say that much, okay?
Fits.
I'm from NJTV News. Could we talk to you, please?
No one answered questions at the Hadassah Lane home of Shimon and Yaakov Nussbaum, arrested by federal agents, and Rachel and Mordecai Sorotskin, charged by the FBI with collecting federal benefits despite earning millions. On Wednesday, officers swooped in and arrested 3 more couples charged with the same offenses. The 14 defendants allegedly defrauded almost $2 million in welfare benefits. That when Lakewood's Mayor Ray Cole says there's a waiting list for Section 8 vouchers.
To see something like this happen is just like a knife in the heart. There's so many people out there who.
And guess what they call this dude? You know what they call him? Do you know
Ray
what
Cole?
they call him? Yes, Ray Cole. You know what they call Ray Cole for having them arrested and bringing them to justice and holding them accountable? You know what they called him?
What?
Anti-Semitic.
No.
Yes, they did.
No.
Yes, they did. They call him
I'm sick and tired of this. I'm sick and tired. I'm really getting tired. But you know what? This is good that it's happening. Because I think the whole United States, everyone, especially California, okay, right? Because look, I cannot tell you exactly how much fraud is going on out here. I mean, it's the numbers are pathetic. Like I heard that $13 billion is meant for homeless people, and that money isn't going to the right places, and a lot of money is missing. Like, how does $13 billion go missing? What's going on?
My comrade Milestone Thoughts just brought something up to me that I knew, but I didn't ponder. But I thank the brother. He always does that when he come in the chat. Bring things up, remind me of things, put it that way.
Yeah.
Welfare started for them. That's what real welfare, that's facts. It's just an actual fact.
Yeah.
They are the original welfare recipients. So I guess that's what makes them so self-entitled, feeling, deserving of it, because it was originally for them. Because in all actuality, the United States give Israel a annual budget of money, maintaining them in a welfare position. That's what the United States do for Israel annually. So it was started for them. I appreciate you, brother.
Need the help. When things like this happen, it turns people against everybody.
Court documents indicate that the suspects basically declared themselves to be poverty-stricken, all the while earning tens of thousands of dollars more. The alleged fraud often involved hidden income, bogus applications, and dicey financial records.
Is there a pervasive attitude of bend the rules?
I don't know if I would use the term bend the rules. I would say there's a pervasive attitude that, if there are programs out there and that they can help me out, let me try to get those programs.
Weisberg's a member of Lakewood's VOD, a local Orthodox Jewish council. He says it's been fielding a barrage of calls from members of the Orthodox community who are now worried they could be targeted because of a careless attitude towards using government benefits. He says the VOD will organize educational programs to change that.
Because of confusion and because of financial pressures that people might have, they probably might have done certain things that they shouldn't have done and certainly should have.
I will call that greed. That's what that is.
That's that.
That's just straight up greed. You're making tens of thousands of dollars. Some people are well off. You see the homes they're living in, and they're getting rental assistance, food stamps, and Medicaid, free healthcare. That's greed.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. That's trying to sorry for my language here. That's trying to pimp the system here. Like, I just, how did they pull this off? Like with the address alone and the homes. Like, I want to know what kind of vehicles you drive. You know, like, whoa, this is heavy. This is a good catch.
Yes, sir. It is. It is a very good catch.
Asked about, and that's really what we're dealing with here.
Ocean County Prosecutor Joe Coronado stated financial assistance programs are designed to alleviate family hardships for those truly in need. My office gave clear guidance and notice to the Lakewood community in 2015 of what's considered financial abuse of these programs. Those who choose to ignore those warnings by seeking to illegally profit on the backs of taxpayers will pay the punitive price of their actions. The mayor asked,
I just want people not to jump to conclusions, not to draw conclusions about an entire community and an entire township based on the actions of a few people. You know, we're a township of probably over 100,000 folks. And no matter how hard you try, you're always going to have some folks that may take advantage of a system.
More arrests are expected in this ongoing investigation. In Lakewood, I'm Brenda Flanagan, NJTV News.
Salute to my brother, Bronze Flat Power God. Thanks for joining, brother. They're gonna tell us what it's about now in Lakewood, consistent with self-entitlement. I'm not going. I'm going to show you the out.
So speaking of disagreeing with me, let's jump back into Lakewood because and do me a favor though. Address the conversation that we're having. This is not about talking about. I don't want it to devolve into someone's opinion on anti-Semitism because honestly, I don't think any of those sentiments are appropriate. To be honest, this is about fraud. It's about criminals. It's about
exactly. It's not about somebody being anti-Semitic. If you, I don't care. I don't care who you are. If you did this, you are a damn criminal.
Facts.
Period. Point blank. You are a criminal if you did this. You're living in a nice big ass home, a $500,000 home, probably $1 million home. Those homes that we seen at least $500,000 to $800,000 homes. Period. That's what they are, and especially New Jersey. New Jersey homes are very expensive. The raggediest house costs a lot here. The raggediest house in New Jersey costs a lot. So, especially being in the upscale neighborhood like Lakewood, yeah, that's at least $800,000 homes that we was watching on this video.
Yeah, and I say this, brother Nasir, and I say this, like I'm when you said this anti-Semitic thing, he's being anti-Semitic. Like, are you kidding me? So you're gonna call this person that for doing his job? Oh, now that it sounds down. Now that sounds very narcissistic to me. Exactly. Like you're not going to take responsibility for the wrong, for the falsifying documents that you were doing. Wow,
that's very narcissistic and self-entitled, bro. That's what that is.
Yeah.
It's about a prosecution, and it's really about the amnesty. And you know where I stand. I don't pull any punches. I totally favor the comptroller's decision to offer amnesty and bring people out of the shadows and make sure we put a stop to the fraud. And the second thing is I want to know who's going to address what I think is the greater fraud, at least in terms of dollar value, pushing healthy people into a system that is designed for people who are under the poverty line and destitute. I think it's disgraceful. So, Joe Coronado, you are the county prosecutor in Ocean County. You're the one behind a lot of the prosecutions that are already going on. And my question to Al was, and I guess you can answer it better. Let's say you've got somebody that is way over the top, someone defrauding the government or accused of doing it to the tune of $70, $80, $100,000, like some of the people that are already under indictment, and they're caught up in this amnesty. Is there any opportunity for a future prosecution, or is this amnesty, hey, that's it? The comptroller made a deal and we're going to honor it.
Well, the comptroller made a deal of amnesty, T. Riggles.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, what does amnesty mean again? I'm going to look at it.
Amnesty means that it's basically you're not going to be held accountable. If you come clean.
Are you serious?
Yes, if you come clean and you admit to it, you won't be prosecuted.
What?
Yeah. That's what it is.
No, you said stop playing.
I'm dead ass serious, brother.
I'm looking.
Come out wherever you are. You know how if you have warrants and you turn yourself in, you'll have amnesty. Same thing. Sometimes the prosecutor's office do that to just clear up the bulk of the paperwork. They'll go to certain communities and they'll say, well, if you come and turn yourself in, we'll just we'll clear you. Just turn yourself and we'll give you amnesty. And sometimes they do that.
Yo, wow! I'm not in LA, I guess. Do you know what I mean? Like I've had warrants.
Everybody don't do it. Everybody don't do it.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, man, LA cutthroat out here.
It said, no, we want our money, damn it.
Now, this doesn't make this has happened in Jersey, as you said. Jersey has predominantly really good areas, and you got some gutter areas too. So why are they offering amnesty to these people when it's obvious that they were tricking the system, falsifying documents, signing by other people's names, and you're going to give them amnesty for that?
I don't think people should get amnesty when it comes to like this level of grand larceny. Because when it comes to like when you start talking about in the hundreds of thousands and the millions, no. Let me tell you something. If those were black people and they did less than half of what these people did, their ass would be going to prison. It wouldn't be no amnesty deal. And everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. If this was our people and we committed that level of fraud in the millions, nearly 2 million. Yeah, somebody be going to jail.
Yeah, of course.
Somebody be going to prison. It wouldn't be no damn amnesty. Not for no $2 million. Nobody should get that kind of money, bro.
Hell no, there would be no damn amnesty for any brothers. You can see that this is not happening with Somalians. Where's the amnesty there?
Exactly. There has to be in Rawway some goddamn where. Rawway on Northern State, Clinton. They'll be in those areas. South Woods. That's where they'll be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, first off, the deal is with the controller, and you have to understand that as much as we would like to be proactive, okay, the information that we would need in any kind of fraud case really comes out of the controller's office.
Okay.
So the bottom line is that the investigation initially is going to be by the controller's office, and they're going to refer it over to us.
Okay.
As I understand the amnesty program is that if you comply with all the terms of their amnesty program, which is probably not only coming in and coming clean with regard to it, but you can probably file your tax returns accordingly, redo everything that you were supposed to do all the way along the line accurately, then at that point in time, they're not going to refer the file over to us. And
what about restitution? What about paying that money back?
So, the slap on the wrist?
What about that? It's like bad boy. That's what that is.
Man.
What about paying that money back?
Yeah, how about that? Well, yeah, what's up with that? Funny business, man.
And
Okay.
my point is that if the victim is happy with it and the victim feels that the person is complying with it, I'm not going to so to speak, upset the apple cart with regard to that.
And Joe, let me ask you, how rampant is this fraud? I mean, 26 people, and you've got potentially many, many more. Or I don't think the comptroller's office would have issued an amnesty. What are your thoughts in terms of just how bad this situation has gotten?
Well, I think it's like anything else.
26 people is a damn ring. That's what that is.
Yo, I'm laughing because I'm laughing.
Ring, bro. It's a ring, bro.
It's a look. Hell yeah, it's a ring. Look. All the people that said. Sorry, go ahead. My bad.
My bad. That's organized crime, bro. That's what that is. 26 people.
26
In the
people.
millions?
Dog. Hey, what are we talking about here? Amnesty. A friend told a friend and 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 a friend, do this. Guarantee you're going to win. Guarantee you're going to win. No, you're not going to win. They lied to you. Now that you got to pay the consequences for your actions. How about that?
Yes, it should be restitution, but they should be paying that money back. It's the taxpayers' money.
That's true. True that.
Should be paying that back.
So, I mean, I do think that I think there's people there that are not complying with the law, but I think the volume could be so high that we could be inundated with it. So I think that, look, if they believe that there's some, and I'll quote, some sort of confusion, and they're willing to allow these people, just like they are when they turn in their weapons and they have amnesty so far as drugs is concerned, if they're willing now at this point in time to bring these people in and make sure that they're willing to comply, and they do comply, I'm okay with it.
And we're going to go to this story about the amnesty in full detail.
Yeah. Because I'm gonna need a full breakdown. And I disagree with his last words. He's like, hey, if they're down for turning themselves in, yeah.
Orthodox Jewish community are being granted.
Yeah, this shit is crazy, brother. We run that back real quick.
Yeah, my bad.
More than 24 people in Lakewood community.
Why is this buffering? Haven't had that done in a long time.
Being granted amnesty by the state if they admit to committing Medicaid fraud. Now, the big question is, why?
No, they shouldn't have offered this, because healthcare is healthcare. A lot of people need healthcare, and when somebody can afford it and they're getting it free, and they are taking advantage of benefits that somebody else could have had, amnesty should not have been on the table for them. No, should not have been. No. I disagree with that shit, man.
I totally do.
I mean,
they
know more than people. More than 26 people, bro. Medicaid fraud, food stamps, rental assistance. That's crazy. And welfare. Getting up to
and welfare.
Million. It's a lot of money, bro.
That's because a lot of money.
Healthcare alone is costs a lot.
Yeah. I totally agree, man. This is
federal state officials charged 26.
Go ahead, my brother.
Since they're, how I heard a scholar say, how they'll treat each other in, how they treat brothers in court. They'll slap them on the wrist, and for us, it's like they'll say, well, you should know better. You should know better. This is why we're going hard on you. So since that we have these type of group of people, they should know better. They should get the book, not a slap. They know better not to do this. It's not like they're incompetent or not. They don't have all of their scruples in their head. They know perfectly fine. So amnesty off the table. I don't know why that the amnesty is brought on as an option. I'm very confused about this.
It shouldn't have been no amnesty, bro. Now everybody on here is of an age that they understand that if you are earning good money, if you are working and you're earning good money, those benefits, you don't qualify for those benefits. Everybody up here knows that. You don't qualify for those benefits. But being that it's in Ocean County and it's in Lakewood, and they say it's a predominantly, but it didn't always used to be that way. Because I used to party in Lakewood back in the 80s. Club, Checkmate 2. Checkmate 2 was the club back in the 80s in Lakewood. I used to party there. So it wasn't always like it is now. You know what they did.
Yeah.
You know what they did.
People in Lakewood, including a rabbi and special needs teacher, with a list of fraud counts. Reportedly, these individuals collected more than $2.4 million in benefits in total. Now it's open to all Ocean County residents who can seek amnesty. Under the program, people would have to repay the benefits that they weren't eligible for, plus a civil penalty.
Exactly. You can't say, well, we're going to give them amnesty and then everybody else go to jail. You got to open it up for everybody now. Now, everybody who did that in Ocean County can say, well, you know, I did such and such, I'm willing to pay it back, and I want amnesty. Because that'd be straight up self-entitlement and preferential treatment. That's what that would be. If you're just offering that to the Jewish community.
Yeah. And I tell you like this, Brother Nasir.
In addition, those...
Go ahead, my brother.
I tell you like this, Brother Nasir, with cases like this, further lets me know that America, we have been infiltrated. No doubt in my mind. No doubt. I don't know how in the hell amnesty for millions. Look, I don't see Somalians get amnesty. There was no amnesty talk when it came down to Somalian fraud. So how come this got a amnesty option? So this lets me know, like, okay, yeah, this injustice going on. Oh yeah, man, we're infiltrated all the way through.
It's preferential treatment. That's what it is. And the only reason why they're allowing other people to benefit from this amnesty is because they'll get called out. They'll get called out. They have to give it to everybody now. Why? Because this news program exposed it. If it was under the wraps, they'll just give it to them. They'll just give it to them. But being that it was exposed, they have to give it to everybody now. All because it was exposed. If it wasn't exposed, they probably on the sneak tip just give it to them.
In the program must agree to not receive Medicaid for a year. Those who participate in the program would avoid criminal prosecution. The Ocean County Prosecutor's Office is hoping that more people outside of the 26 charged will come forward. Now, it's such a touchy subject here in Lakewood that no one would speak with me on camera, but a few people did share with.
They say they know it's more, a lot more than the 26 people. So that means everybody here just living off the system, but they always pointing at us talking about we live off the system. Always pointing at us talking about y'all live off the system. Your welfare recipients this and welfare recipient that. But look at this. Where most of us work for a damn living. Very little of us are on welfare. Tell the truth.
With me off camera that many people feel that the people who committed the crime are getting off easy. In Lakewood, Ashley Johnson with Chasing News.
Thank you, Ashley. All right, I want to bring in somebody directly involved with this. As you know, there are now 26 people under indictment in Lakewood for theft of government service and an array of other charges dealing with Medicaid fraud and stealing with the SNAP program, etc. But the state government has done something that some residents really upset about. Some are calling it amnesty. State government, not so much. I want to bring in Joe Coronado, who is the Ocean County prosecutor who will be prosecuting the case of the 26 folks that are already under indictment. Joe, welcome to Chasing News.
Good. Great to be here.
Joe, what do you say to the critics out there that are claiming that people in Lakewood were let off the hook? And then what do you say to the other side where there seems to be a little bit of a current of anti-Semitism labeling the entire community as guilty?
Well, I don't think you can label the whole community. That's
And why would it be called anti-Semitism? Because you're going after the ones who actually committed a crime. See, that's the thing. They say it's anti-Semitism because the prosecutor is doing his job, and they're actually actively investigating the people who are suspected of doing a crime. That's not anti-Semitism. Accusing, and nobody never said that the entire community is committing welfare fraud. Nobody said that. Not one time did I hear somebody say everybody's doing it. He said to those who are doing it. It's over 100,000 people in Lakewood, and I know everybody's not doing it. But to the ones that's doing it, they should be held accountable. Point blank.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like I said, I don't know why amnesty's on the table.
It shouldn't be. It should be plea deals of how much time you're going to do. Plead guilty and you get this amount of time. That's it.
Yeah. You know, like when you go to court and then you say, they give you 3 options: guilty, not guilty, or no contest.
Exactly.
When you pick no contest, you're still going to get the law thrown at you.
Exactly. That means that you're just not going to go through a trial. No contest.
Right.
Or either no contest. That means you're not going to fight. Pleading means that you're still not going to fight and you're making a deal.
Yeah.
But that's what it should be. It shouldn't be a deal. It shouldn't be a deal in their favor. It should be a deal in the taxpayers' favor.
That part.
Because they took money from the taxpayers. It should be in their favor.
okay. There were individuals that were identified that had a problem. I'm not sure, it's not within my purview, but I'm not sure I understand the complaint. I mean, certainly the state runs all kinds of programs. There are gun buyback programs, there's drug amnesty programs, there's programs with sales tax during the years that they may have, there's other times that they have programs with regard to their tax returns.
How big is this problem? Are we talking about hundreds more, thousands more, millions in dollars? What are we really talking about in terms of this so-called amnesty? I know the state's not calling it that, but that's what it feels like for a lot of us out here.
Well, I can't tell exactly. I suspect that there's more than just these 26 individuals. It'd be naive to me to think that this is it and that's all that it was. I think that the problem is large enough that I don't think that you can capture them all and solve all this problem just by criminally prosecuting. I think the intent here is to raise the attention and let these people come forth and collect the money. The point is, if they come in and they do the amnesty program, I think the point that the controller had, Phil Degnan, was that they would get this money and it would be given to the right people that deserve it, not to the people that are abusing it.
Okay, Joe, thank you for joining me tonight. Appreciate it. All right, I want to bring in our A-plus panel tonight. We're joined by Corey Teague, who is an advocate for education in Patterson. Corey, welcome to Chasing News. And Elora Nanos, good to have you back. You're an author, you're a writer, you are a lawyer, and a TV personality. Let me start with you, putting your lawyer hat on for a minute. This seems that it's not out of the ordinary, but residents are really upset. And the only people that showed up at the meeting yesterday were there to complain about being soft on this community. Do you think that's what's going on?
I think that what's going on is what we have is an immature understanding of law enforcement. Not every law enforcement opportunity is like an episode of Law and Order. It's not all police and jail, and it doesn't always work like that. There are many components to enforcing the law that involve programs.
Yeah, and they use those different components when it comes to certain people. But when it comes to us, it's about jail. It's about some damn jail, bro. I'm gonna tell you straight up, these type of deals were not in the millions. Middlesex County would not have offered shit but jail. The county I live in, they're offering jail. They're now, it's Ocean County. Ocean County is down by the shore. Water. There's waterfront shit down there in Ocean County. That's why it's called Ocean County. Okay?
Yeah.
And that amnesty is offered to them. Middlesex County, they're offering jail. That's all they're offering.
And look, just already the lady, you know, when she said about this is not law and order, it's not all about police and jail time. What are you talking about? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's all about jail time. It's about people committing crimes and doing the time. That's the one I grew up on. You do the crime. If you're gonna hit a lick, right? You know what I'm saying? And I know back in the days how, you know, we had to, you know, we got the itch. And so, okay, look, I'm about to hit this lick. And now, is it worth it hitting this lick? And if I get caught, how much time am I going to do? Now, is it worth it? So this is what the criminals think. So
from the beginning, bro. She started caping from the beginning, bro. Caping.
Yeah, caping already.
From the beginning, bro. You know, trying to get us to understand that these people are getting preferential treatment, all because they felt that they were self-entitled to something that they didn't qualify for. That's all. It's the beginning. The beginning was self-entitlement, but now they're getting preferential treatment. That's what they're doing, because that's what's happening. They're getting preferential treatment because, again, if that was like in Essex County up by Newark and East Orange and Patterson is you know, Passaic County, but any of those areas up where our people are, they'll be offering jail for that kind of money. There wouldn't be no amnesty, and you'd be offering jail, and when you get out, you still will be paying restitution.
Right.
You still want their damn money.
Right. Look. Last time I checked, you know, people were going to jail for stealing something from the store. So now you're going to be stealing from the government benefit programs. There's not a difference. It's still stealing. You're going to jail.
Yeah, you'll be doing time, and you'll be paying that money when you get out. That's how that be going. Facts. You'll be getting out on some type of. You'll be getting out on some probation. And your probation will be, part of your probation will be restitution. Yes, it will.
Yeah.
Programs just like this one. So I understand that from kind of a PR standpoint, you might have residents saying this is too soft. They're not getting the proper penalties. But truthfully, the type of penalty involved in this program is exactly what would happen even if there were a criminal prosecution.
Corey, let me ask you, why Lakewood? Do you think this reeks of a little bit of anti-Semitism, maybe targeting one community over the other?
Well, I mean, just from what I heard today, I don't know if it would be specifically that. You know, I'm guessing if it continues further and more in depth, it might be considered that in the public view, because you know how media is. They have to push a certain topic to get people interested in the story. But from what I'm hearing now, I don't think it's really that. I just think it's just them trying to reach out to anyone that's
Do
been
you
in this
think this
situation.
kind of fraud goes on in places like Patterson?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, how would you feel if
Absolutely.
if Patterson were under the spotlight right now, and this was literally a roundup and an offer of amnesty?
Now he's exactly what I said. Patterson up in Passaic County.
And a storyline that's saying this problem is rampant.
It would be a good idea, actually, because there's many people who really are struggling and they need the assistance, and maybe it would loosen up some funds for them, you know, for folks, seniors, the disabled, who really need, you know, assistance, and they're not able to get it.
All right, Corey, thanks.
Now, but if people in Patterson would have done, which is predominantly Black and Latino, if they had done that, I'm wondering if there would be any amnesty, you know, offered to them. I don't know, T. What you think, bro?
Listen. You already know my answer. Hell no. Look, you should know better. brothers and Latin people, Mexicans and Hispanics. You know better. You know better not to falsify. You know better not to lie on these applications. You're going to jail.
Exactly. Now we're going to go, one more on this. At the time, this was Governor Chris Christie, and he's saying maybe amnesty is okay.
What?
That's what he's saying, the governor, at the time. Crazy.
This is wild, man.
Obviously, of the public assistance fraud that was going on in Lakewood in Ocean County.
Right.
And there was some controversy going on about whether there was this amnesty program. If you fessed up and paid the money back, then you wouldn't be prosecuted. You wouldn't go to jail. We're getting a lot of questions on social media about whether you approve of that amnesty or whether you believe the violators should be prosecuted.
Well, Eric, listen, I try not to get into the criminal law stuff now that I'm governor and not a prosecutor.
Right.
I do believe people need to be held to account for their actions. Yet we've had a lot of conversations tonight about expungement of records and giving people a second chance and all the rest of that. In the end, fraud on those kind of programs are bad because it's a waste of taxpayer money. If that money is returned, and people are truly repentant, I'd be willing to consider it.
Listen to his language.
You piece of crap.
Listen to his language. He's saying repent, atone, and all this other nonsense.
Right.
You peep the language, right?
Yeah, I'm peeping this out, man. Like, yo, what are you talking about? Look, and then you're gonna look, and then you're gonna say, you know what? You know what he said? He said, I was a prosecutor. Now I'm governor, so I don't speak like that anymore. What the hell are you talking about? Yes, you do.
This dude act as if, because he was governor, I believe 8 years. Right before Murphy came, he was governor. But if it was in another community, he wouldn't be talking about repenting.
Look, this is where I'm so confused right now, brother Nasir. Look, let me USA real quick. Let me USA. Because look, if I steal money from the bank and give that money and they said, just give it back, I'm still going to jail because I stole it from a bank. So what is the difference between a bank and government benefits?
Let me tell you something, bro. Regardless of where you stole that money from, you will be paying that money back. I mean, I understand that they said they want to pay that money. They, that they're going to pay the money back, which is a good thing, but they wouldn't be avoiding prosecution. Put it that way. You would not be avoiding prosecution. Again, you'll be going to prison, and a part of your probation when you get out, parole or whatever, would be restitution.
Yeah.
You have to pay that money back.
Yeah, and then after you pay the money back, maybe 2 years down the line, we can expunge it. You know what I mean? That's what they do to some brothers, after they committed the crime, they did the jail time, completed probation, and now they're trying to do better with themselves. Like, for an example, they're trying to be a football coach. Now we need to get that thing off the record now. Let's expunge that. And so now we can coach football. That's the order of operation from what I know of.
But there's nothing wrong with giving, I don't care who it is, giving anybody a second chance after accountability.
After
accountability.
Yeah.
Accountability is not just, accountability is just, is above and more than admitting wrongdoing. You know what I'm saying? Accountability is actually receiving your penalty and restitution.
And you know what,
All of
brother?
those things.
You know, I was thinking, man. I got a lot of time to think, right? And I was thinking about that word you just said, accountability. I can't believe in 2026 we have to speak about accountability. It's almost like when you was a child, you didn't get whoopings. You didn't learn this when you was from 5 to 15. You didn't learn about accountability. And now as adults, we have to talk about accountability like you've never had a bank account.
But you know what though, bro? It's, sad to say, it's some children who were never held accountable by their parents. And some people think they're doing something for their children, you know what I'm saying, by not holding them accountable. And what you're doing is making them think that, that they don't have to be held accountable. And you're creating a narcissistic, self-entitled demeanor in your child if you don't hold them accountable for what they do. I'm not saying that you got to be barbaric and be this monster to whoop your child, you know what I'm saying, beat on your child. You don't have to do that. Some cases you got to whoop that ass, but most cases you don't. Most cases you don't.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it. But
look, I advocate.
But when you don't hold them accountable at all, you're creating a problem. You're creating a perception of you're not creating a perception of reality. That's what you're not doing when a person is not held accountable for what they do. They're gonna look at this world as if the world owe them because they were born in it. They don't have to be held accountable for nothing. And the world's not like that when you step out your house. How it is in the house is one thing, but outside there, the world's not like that. They don't give a damn what goes on in your house. This is the world.
Yeah.
It's accountability in the world. And sometimes that become a harsh lesson. It's better to be taught by the parent than to be taught by the world. Because the world don't love your child. You do.
Right. I'm an advocate to bring whoopings back. You know what I mean? It got me right. Okay. Look. This is why I'm straight today. This is why I don't cross the line, because I got all of these whoopings. You know, I got all these whoopings.
I didn't get many, but the ones that I got worked. I didn't get many. Anybody that knows me will tell you. My parents didn't beat us a lot. They didn't whip us a lot, but they made it count when they did it, though. Made that shit count.
Yeah.
Made it count.
My mom was the whooper.
Because if you can remember the ass whooping, that means it was done, what you call it, expeditiously.
Look, brother Nasir, okay, there were some times where I felt that this is wrong, this is injustice out here. I know you told me to be home, Mom, at 7:30. I came home at 7:35. I don't need a whooping around the coffee table with the belt about 6 times. You know what I mean? That's unjustable. But if I come home with C's and D's and an F, okay, I deserve a whooping. I mean, focus in.
5 minutes late and getting a whooping is a little extreme to me.
It's extreme.
It's
injustice.
extreme.
It's injustice.
You said injustice, brother. I said it's a little extreme. You saying injustice because you was at the end of that belt. So you call it what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's strapped to you. You know what I'm saying? It's the leather to your backside. So you can call
it the arm
it
back. When it hit me in my back, brother, to say, I couldn't. When you get stuck in that crack, like, oh man, injustice, bro. She was mad at my dad, probably.
This is injustice, brother. Yeah, I mean that is a bit extreme for 5 minutes, but those D's and F, oh yeah,
Oh
bro. Let
yeah,
me
yeah,
tell you
you're
something,
supposed to
brother.
get toe
I
up.
brother, we wouldn't see no parts of outside. That shit happen.
Brother, that's it.
Colin Gray, brother, you shit. He'll tell you close them blinds. Tell you straight up, close the blinds. You see them? Close the blinds.
Look, and it worked. Look what they did to me. Look what they did to me, brother. They said, oh, you got a DNF? Oh, all right. There'll be no more Christmas gifts for you. Oh, do you know what I was going through? Looking at my little brother open up them gifts, I was just like, man, dog, I'm gonna get it together, man. I'm gonna just get it together.
I'll tell you all the stuff that these children are afforded today, and some of them, and most of the shit they don't deserve because they don't listen to their damn parents.
Right.
I mean, you will forget. My father would have took that from us. You would have forgot you had one.
Facts.
He'd have kept it so long because he didn't play. Mom was very disciplinarian, but my father didn't play, man. He didn't play. He'll take that shit from you, put it somewhere, and you forgot you had one.
Yeah.
Or you want something from me? You think you gonna go in there and play with that damn $500 game that I bought, and you not doing what you're supposed to do? Oh hell no!
Hell no!
Hell no!
And this is what's sad, brother Nasir, that we in 2026 and you know it really hit me because I was thinking like, why is everyone talking about accountability? Like, huh? Like this is so kindergarten.
Because nobody's being held accountable when greetings, peace to Mama Chief.
Chief.
Thanks for tapping in, my sister. When nobody's being held accountable and holding themselves accountable, that's going to be the discussion. When the top executives, who's supposed to be the example of governance in a country, when they behave like children, warmongering thieves, greedy, childish, so-called people of the executive branch, that's no accountability, and nobody holds them accountable. Now, when America's jurisprudence don't hold a man who was convicted of 34 felonies, when they postpone his sentence for 4 years, that's not accountability. America's jurisprudence don't even hold criminals, felons, federal charges. When you have federal charges, when you are guilty of 34 charges and you're not held accountable by America's jurisprudence, that's not accountability. And when someone is used to not being held accountable all their life and then this happened, do you know what kind of monster that creates?
Yeah.
That creates a monster. That's why the man behaves the way he behaves, because he was never held accountable for anything he did. And they really created a monster. When he went before that judge and that judge said, we're going to postpone your sentence. Brother, you can't get your sentence postponed for a damn driving ticket. But this man got 34 felons and his ass got his sentence postponed while he run the damn country. And now look where we're at now. Look where we're at now.
Well, I tell you like this, brother Nasir. This man on the screen, you right? I don't like this language. What you talking about? Repent. We're not talking no religion here. This got nothing to do with religion. This got nothing to do with race. It's got to do with the law. And the law say you steal, then you must feel.
But Chris Christie, he's a slob, man. Always have been. And he's using this language, getting all religious when it comes to a crime, you know, and talking about repenting. It's like, just say you're sorry and we'll forget about it. No,
No.
no, you can't do that. Just say you're sorry. No, admit you
No.
did it, accept your punishment, and pay the
And we
money
move.
back.
Yeah,
And pay
and
the
then we
money
move
back.
on. Yeah,
That's
then we
it.
move on. Yeah, we move
Whatever
on.
happens after that, everything whatever gonna happen had to happen after all that. That's it. Whether
Right.
you whether you get your record expunged, if you go with a certain amount of time that you're not committing crimes, yeah, give a person a second chance. I don't care who it
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
Give them a second
yeah,
chance.
yeah, yeah.
But everything has to happen first. Admit wrongdoing, accept your punishment, restitution. As a matter of fact, restitution is a part of the repenting. Pay the money back.
Yeah.
That's a part
Straight
of the
up.
repenting.
Straight up.
We're not just saying, okay, yeah, I did it, I'm sorry. Nah, bro. You can't
No.
punch me in the eye, tell my man I'm sorry. My eye's swollen, man. I get to hit you back.
But my general point of view on this is people need to be held to account for their conduct.
Well, but where it applies to state programs, the state would have to essentially sign off on some.
Well, the
of
attorney
those,
general's office would have to.
you know. So
yeah, the attorney. I mean, I don't.
I know you don't direct the attorney general.
Yeah, I
but-
don't direct the attorney general what to do in this stuff, and I don't want to direct him. This is where you get into danger.
Yeah. The attorney general are being biased based on proximity and location. Because the state attorney general would not be doing this if it was in Passaic County, Essex County, Middlesex County, or any county, where certain people don't live. Period. If this was Atlantic City, predominantly black people. Okay. Outside of that boardwalk where all the casinos and hotels at and shit. Outside of that slum, bro. The resort area, the only area of Atlantic City that you can look and say, wow, this is nice. Walk off that boardwalk and go like a block or two over. You think you're on the wire. I'm telling you.
Now let me ask you, Brother Nasir. When
Yeah,
what
right?
year?
Yeah, I get
Because I know the attorney general's listening.
Yeah.
Salute to my
What-
brother
what-
talking media, greedy vegan. Salute my brother.
Greedy. What year was this, Brother Nasir?
This is quite a while ago. So this is a while ago. About 8 years ago.
8 years
About 8
ago.
years. Yeah.
Okay, so this was 8 years ago, right? And so this fraud was going on in a really good area, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna bring this up, right? Because not one time was amnesty ever said to the Somalians.
No, it wasn't. And nobody said, okay, come clean and get amnesty and pay the money back. Nobody never said that out there in Minnesota. No, nobody said that.
Strange.
But on top of that, a lot of Somalians are committing violent crimes on top of that, though. Not for nothing. But to those who are not committing violent crimes, they should be afforded the same damn, benefits. But that's a different state on the other side of the damn country, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I'm just saying, and I never heard. Good thing that you told me this is 8 years ago, because this happened before Somalians. So now I can compare, situations. Yeah, it wasn't in a very prestigious neighborhood and blah, 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 blah. But amnesty wasn't presented to the Somalians to say, hey, look, come clean.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
what I mean?
That's the thing. Regardless to how much time passed, it was offered to certain people. It wasn't offered to other people, even though it's different states. But with what they were doing in Minnesota, bro, I wouldn't offer them no damn amnesty either. But what I'm making a comparison that, okay, Neither one of them should deserve no amnesty. I'm not going to say that the Somalians deserve amnesty because they don't.
Yeah, look. With all of this, how much money? See, what you said earlier is absolutely right. See, right here in this little case here we got on the screen, we're talking about a ring. This is a ring of people here, like a congregation. Do you know what I mean? That's sharing the secrets between each other, and they figured out a way.
The brother lives in Minnesota. Milestone Thoughts. He lives in Minnesota. He said they've been in the news here. But what I'm saying is, whether they've been in the news or not, they don't deserve amnesty. Nobody deserves amnesty for what they. Neither one of them deserve amnesty. No matter how we compare it, they don't deserve no amnesty. If they're stealing millions of dollars, they don't deserve no damn amnesty. They're stealing millions of dollars of committing violent crimes or doing whatever they're doing. They don't deserve amnesty.
Facts.
Yeah.
So if I say, hey, I'm not directing the attorney general, but you should do this, you know, it starts to get, especially when you're a former prosecutor.
Right.
You know, your words have more weight than if all you've been is ambassador to Germany. So I understand that. And, you know, so
you shouldn't be talking about weight.
Hey, look.
I gotta be careful about what I say in that regard.
No, that's bullshit. That's bull hogwash. Let me tell you why. Say just because you're saying you're a former prosecutor, you what you talking about? You don't have a right. Listen, I'm a former coach. Okay, so if there's another coach out there and he's doing something, I can critique on it and be like, nah, I wouldn't do that. I would do this, or nah, I would put this person over there. So as a former prosecutor, you have the right to say, nah, man, I think you should do this. I mean, this is what I would do. And, you know, you get to criticize because you was a former prosecutor.
Now, check this out. The Chicago PD tactical team members stripped of powers during deposition over traffic stop. Turn search. See, they feel like they can stop you. It's traffic. Instead of just giving you your ticket or what have you, they want to search.
The attorneys for Chicago drivers tell the I-Team what happened on Friday was an unprecedented and unusual development. For more than a year, the I-Team has been investigating a Chicago police team accused of unlawful.
Salute, peace to my good brother Smoke Signal. Thanks for joining, brother. Salute to you.
Lawfully searching drivers. Some have taken the city to court. And in a deposition for one of those cases last week, an officer was abruptly removed and escorted to police headquarters, where supervisors took his service weapon and badge.
No one had ever seen anything like this before.
For nearly 20 years, attorney Jordan Marsh worked for the city of Chicago, representing Chicago police officers in court. But today, he's on the other side, representing drivers suing Chicago police.
Can you imagine a cop being deposed? Okay, that means he's being questioned by rank and file. You know, his rank. You know, his superior officers and sometimes lawyers. More than likely, it was a lawyer, because these drivers were suing him and suing the department. So they deposed him. Can you imagine? He just walked out the deposition. During the deposition, he felt that self-entitled and like he's supposed to get covered. He walked out the deposition. So they followed him. It took everything from him. Police powers, they took their shit off him.
After years of litigation, some of those officers have now been pulled off the street.
They're not going to be able to pull anyone over. They're not going to be able to harass anyone. They're not going to be able to profile anyone. So that's positive.
As the I-Team previously reported, Marsh represents 12 people who have sued the city over traffic stops turned searches by one group of Chicago officers, the 1863 Tactical Team. Members of the team have been accused of misconduct in more than 100 complaints filed with the civilian.
I guess they confused about what year it is. 1863. They're acting like they in
Office
1863.
of Police Accountability, or COPA.
Come on out, we'll rip you out.
The 1863 team is made up of a sergeant and 7 officers. But since our reporting started last year, the team's sergeant has been reassigned. And now 5 officers have been relieved of police powers, meaning they must surrender their service weapon and badge.
I'm being respectful.
This is Officer Richard Rodriguez Jr., the most recent 1863 member to be stripped.
Calm down. I'm calm.
Body camera video of a 2023 traffic stop.
See, a lot of these dudes, they'll come over here, or when they get their badge, their name could be Sanchez, Rodriguez, Santiago, but them dudes don't, because they consider themselves white. They become white because really that's the American dream to people that come here. They come here to be white.
Yeah, to be above the law.
Rodriguez was involved in is now evidence in a lawsuit against the city. Rodriguez had pulled a Chicago couple over for failing to register their vehicle. That charge was later dismissed. But the couple accused Rodriguez and another 1863 officer of unlawfully searching their vehicle and for abusive and threatening behavior.
This is a legit traffic stop. I'm not harassing anybody that's in Chicago. I don't about you or this right here. I don't even think about you guys. Trust me, after this stop, I'm gonna forget about you guys.
Rodriguez was suspended 3 days for using profanity and prematurely deactivating his body-worn camera, according to COPA reports. He and his attorney did not respond to the I-Team's.
You turn his camera off, and look how he was talking to them.
Wow. Look. Let me start here, Brother Nasir. Shouts out to the chat. My bad. You know, I'm really involved in this build here. Shouts out to all of you. Now this dude here, now he has issues. Now I wouldn't be surprised if this person has a little. No, I know we don't want to throw this word around, but he gives me the vibe. Oh yeah, you're a narcissist and you're a bully. You're a bully and you don't do nothing wrong, do you? Absolutely not, huh? You got little muscles on your body, or you think you can just walk around and just, you just punk everybody. That's how you feel? All right, that's how you feel.
And he felt that self-entitled that while he was being deposed, he walked out.
Wow.
He just walked out of there while he was deposing him.
Wow.
Request for comment. In court filings, Rodriguez denied the lawsuit's allegations. For the past year, Marsh has been trying to depose Rodriguez about this stop and the 1863 team. It was finally scheduled last Friday. But 90 minutes into it, according to this court filing, Rodriguez left the room during a break, and his attorney said the deposition was being terminated because Rodriguez's sergeant needed to take him to Chicago Police Headquarters so that he could be relieved of his police powers. In a motion to the court, Marsh calls the move lawless interference with the civil justice system.
The police department does not get to dictate when a court-ordered deposition ends.
Now, Chicago police have confirmed Rodriguez was stripped of his police powers pending an internal investigation, but would not comment further due to pending litigation. A federal judge has ordered the city to respond to Marsh's accusations of lawless interference and explain why Rodriguez was stripped of his police powers by this Friday. And we have just learned another 1863 CPD officer has submitted his paperwork to resign. So a lot of developments about this team in just the last few days and weeks.
Yeah, a lot of stunning developments, but also a lot more questions remain.
So many, and we're going to get them.
All right, you'll be following that.
Now I'm going to go back to where we came from, back to Jersey. Go ahead, brother.
When did this happen?
Like 8 days ago.
Ooh.
Like 8 days ago.
Ooh.
Now I'm coming back to New Jersey. New Jersey welfare fraud arrest sparks racist sentiments. And watch how this. Watch this. Talking about self-entitled.
Greetings, family. Peace and love to you and yours. This is Guru, and thanks for visiting my channel. Family, this video is about New Jersey welfare fraud that arrest sparks anti-Semitic sentiments. You see, on the social media comments on Facebook and other sites were raw and hateful. The outpouring of invectives were sparked by the arrest last week of 14 residents of Lakewood, New Jersey, including the rabbi of a congregation, on public assistance fraud charges. The early morning raids ignited a firestorm of anti-Semitism against a municipality of 100,000 that has a majority of Orthodox Jewish residents. Quote, the allegations and the charges levied against the defendants have nothing to do with their religion, said Joshua Cohen, regional director of the Anti-Defamation League, New Jersey region. Quote, that's why we're deeply concerned when we see comments online, whether it's on newspaper, websites, or social media that are.
You know, the Anti-Defamation League, I don't understand how the Anti-Defamation League, hold on.
Greetings, fam.
The Anti-Defamation League was that organization brought forth to fight against defamation for everyone or certain people, or to just, say that you're defaming us as Jewish people every time someone can't even come to them with truth about themselves without it being called anti-Semitism. Won't say, I challenge you with your statement because you're lying, but would just go right to calling you an anti-Semite. Not that you're lying. You're anti-Semitic because you're speaking, even if it's the truth about what one of them said or did. It's called anti-Semitism. And that needs to be put to rest. You can't throw anti-Semitism at people because they disagree with you or you disagree with the truth that they're telling. You won't challenge them and say they're lying. You just say they're anti-Semitism and you'll say they're hateful. If somebody's telling the truth about you, that's not hate. Lying on you would be hate. But if somebody's speaking the truth and you know that you are guilty of what the person accused you of, it's not anti-Semitism. That's really a self-entitled, self-aggrandizing, wanting preferential treatment behavior. That's what that is.
I didn't know that anti-Semitism and committing a crime that you got caught for are mixed together. Well, how does that work? Race has nothing to do with a person committing a crime and you got caught. Where does anti-Semitism come in? I don't understand this. I'm so confused that word should not even be used at all.
It's used so often when they are showing themselves, put it that way. It's not my fault you don't like how you look in the mirror. Fix yourself up. Make yourself look and be appropriate. Perhaps you'll like the way you look. But when somebody come to you and tell you that your tie is not tied right, you fix your tie. You don't say you're anti-Semitic because I'll point out something. And it's crazy. All because these people in Lakewood committed fraud and the prosecutor had the audacity, the fortitude to move on with a prosecution they're anti-Semitic. And because they say there's more people, and I gather, I'm not for certain, but I gather it's based on information that they procure in investigation that there's more than 26. That's why the man said that. It's more than 26 people, it's more. But I know he's not suggesting that 100,000 people did it. He just said it's more in addition to the people who we arrested, who committed the fraud. And that's, again, that's a ring. It's not isolated. That many people is a ring. That's a ring. It's a fraud ring. Like anywhere else in this damn country, that's a fraud ring, that many people. But you can't say that about them. It's anti-Semitism when you say about them. But they can say it about people though. That's a ring. That many people doing crime together, that is what you call organized crime.
That part. That
organized crime.
part.
Peace and love. Lakewood, New Jersey, including the rabbi of a congregation on public assistance fraud charges. The early morning raids ignited a firestorm of anti-Semitism against a municipality of 100,000 that has a majority of Orthodox Jewish residents. Quote, the allegations and the charges levied against the defendants have nothing to do with their religion, said Joshua Cohen, regional director of the Anti-Defamation League, New Jersey region. Quote, that's why we're deeply concerned when we see comments online, whether it's on newspaper, websites, or social media that are anti-Semitic, unquote. Well, I'm gonna stop right there and just say, it's really ironic how the Anti-Defamation League and others will speak loudly when people say things about them. But when it's said about other people, they are silent as church mouses.
If it's the Anti-Defamation League, they should be coming out in droves when anyone's credibility, when anyone's reputation is defamed. If it's the Anti-Defamation League, if you are anti-defamation, anyone who is being defamed should be able to call you and you defend them. If that's what it is.
But let's continue. The hate speech moved off the internet and into the streets.
Go ahead, my brother.
You know, this pattern I'm seeing, you know, this pattern of police officers and how they discipline people, how we can see here Jewish people are treated in a different manner, and another group of people, a real big organization. This pattern, this slap on the wrist. Look, long story short, America's been infiltrated all the way through. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know, it's not a doubt for me. You know, just watching this right here, triple confirms that, hey, man, we've been compromised, you know what I mean, infiltrated, and hopefully, I don't like to use the word hopefully at all, Brother Nasir, you know what I mean? But this thing got to clean up all the way through.
Yeah, I agree. Got to clean up. Has to clean that up, brother. I mean, I strongly agree with that. People need to be held accountable regardless. And you can't say because people are holding you accountable that they hate you because you are made to obey the same rules and laws that everybody else. That's not anti-Semitism.
No, it's not.
Anti-Semitism would be hate spewed towards you. Hate is you have to distinguish being held accountable from hate. The two are not the same. Somebody
Amen.
called you out for your transgressions against law or against any people, your unfair treatment of people, and your attitude. You got to call out that selfish ass attitude. And because somebody called out that selfish attitude, that self entitlement, that you want to be, you're so damn you're so into yourself, you're so self-aggrandizing that you don't consider the needs or feelings of other people. And somebody call that out, or you're anti-Semite, you're anti-Semite.
Yeah. No,
Especially if you're telling the truth about that person. Now, if you're not telling the truth about that person, the very first thing they can say is that's not true, that's a lie. That's not how I am. But if your answer to somebody calling you out is you're anti-Semite, you don't want to be held accountable.
Ooh, they not going like me. Oh, a lot of people are not going like me because that's all I do, man, is tell the truth. What's wrong with that? What is wrong with telling the truth about issues that our society is going through? If we can't tell the truth, kiss humanity and America goodbye, as you can obviously see right now.
That's the truth.
It's wild.
Now I'm gonna move along from this. Now I'm gonna go down to Baltimore.
All right, what you got down in Baltimore now? What you got down there? What you got?
I had to leave you with this, brother.
Okay.
First brought to you at 11 o'clock last night. A 37-year-old man shot and killed by Baltimore police after officers say he fled from them while armed. And his family identifying him tonight as 37-year-old Dwight Hawkins, calling out the police department now. WJZ is live here at 5 on your corner at Baltimore City Police headquarters. And Tara, you spoke with family members who say they feel Hawkins was targeted by police.
Rick, the family of Dwight Hawkins says that they know that he has a past criminal history, that he was known to police, that he didn't deserve to be shot and killed last night in the Bel Air Edison neighborhood. Now, we did just hear from the Attorney General's office that 2 officers fired their service weapons at Hawkins and that a handgun was recovered near Hawkins when he was on the ground there near Bel Air Road. This was all caught on Ring doorbell camera. A warning, the video you're about to see may be disturbing to some viewers.
I just didn't understand, like, why
They fired a lot.
They overkilled him like that.
Baltimore City Police say a 37-year-old man was fatally shot by officers in Bel Air Edison Tuesday night because he was armed and running from police.
2892 firearms, 16 rounds.
His family identifies the man as Dwight Hawkins. Police say they saw Hawkins in a liquor store and believed he was armed. That's when they say they followed him and asked questions. During a foot chase, police...
Salute to the brother, the Wingy Skates. Thanks for tapping in, my brother. Thanks for joining.
Police say Hawkins ignored their commands to drop his weapon. 16 rounds were fired. Police say officers rendered aid and Hawkins died at the hospital.
They got one shot. This is another incident where if they would have just simply complied and put the gun down, we wouldn't be having this press conference. But the individual continued running with the gun in his hand. He came face to face with the second officer, at which point he was shot.
If they running, they scared. They scared of y'all. If it's 3, 4 y'all could tackle a person. Y'all could tase a person. You don't have to overkill a person. You don't have to shoot a person 16 times.
Allegedly, if he did have a gun, the video shows he never pulled it out. He never pointed it.
The Hawkins family says while he has a...
Now, that is a good point. If the gun wasn't in his hand, they really don't know whether he had it or not for certain. And the gun is no threat unless it's in your hand. If they shot him and that gun was just snarled in his back or his waistband or something, he wasn't a threat. He was just running. And the body camera will show us this you know, if they ever release it. Because if he didn't have that gun in his hand, there was no reason to shoot him whatsoever. The gun have to be in your hand because how was he a threat when he's not pointing the gun at anybody? He's merely running away. It's not a threat at that point.
The criminal history.
Man.
He turned his life around for his 3 children. They say Hawkins recently.
Go ahead, my brother.
Man, this hurts. Leaving children behind and shooting a man 16 times, running away from authorities. I'm disgusted. This is disgusting. You know, I'm not a police officer, and I don't have any aspirations to be a police officer. But I know if someone is running away from me, how about shooting in the leg? How about when you're running, grab the taser and do it that way? You know,
bro.
Every time I see this, Brother Nasir, it makes me feel like nothing's changed.
Nothing, because nothing has changed. But I'm gonna tell you, I've seen videos, brother, where people have a particular, but go there. White boy stabbed a cop in the neck, stabbed him in the neck, and ran. He ran. The cop said, "Stop, stop." Kept saying, "Stop," repeatedly, "Stop." The cop put his gun back in his holster and pulled out his taser and tased him. Didn't shoot him, tased him. He put his gun away and pulled his taser out and tased him. So they do have the training. They do. And they have compassion for those who are mentally challenged. They just don't have it when it comes to certain people.
You stab someone in the neck, you shoot that person.
But he didn't, the young man had mental issues and he treated him accordingly, but it wouldn't have gone that way if it was one of us. He wouldn't have gotten that far if it was one of us. Now
this is wild, man. Like this, man, I don't like seeing shit like this.
I mean, brother, it's the saying, the more things change, the more things stay the same.
Man.
Recently moved out of Baltimore City to Hagerstown and had a steady job at a hotel in downtown Baltimore. His family believes he was targeted by police because of his past.
And I'm not saying that we was the perfect family or he was the perfect child. We all have a past. He did have a past, but it was about change. They did not have to gun him down the way they did.
The family says they want more answers from police and are hoping they change their tactics moving forward.
We need justice, and it's not right.
And Baltimore City Police says that Hawkins has a lengthy criminal history, including felony charges, and that has precluded him from owning a firearm. He was not legally allowed to be possessing any sort of weapon. Baltimore City Police also telling us the involved officers now on administrative leave. The Attorney General's office is.
Let me tell you something. It really don't matter. Salute, peace to my brother. Peace to my brother P. Moses. Thanks for tapping in. It really don't matter what kind of record one of us has if the police shoot us. You can have the best record. They are going to defame your character regardless. They're going to defame your character. They're not going to say, well, this guy we shot was an upstanding citizen. They're not gonna say that shit, man. They're gonna find something. Well, he stole a pack of now and laters when he was in the 3rd grade. That type of shit. They'll go all the way back. He stole the Snickers at the bodega in the past. They'll go all the way back, and they'll find something incriminating to put on you. They're not going to say you was an upstanding citizen. They're going to try to find something incriminating on you. If they got to make it up, they're going to find something to justify them committing murder.
Yeah, man, that right there, man. Even if you're mentally challenged, and they still gonna do what they do. But as you said, the story about the guy stabbing the police officer in the neck, and then the dude puts away his gun and then grabs his taser. Like,
Let me tell you something, bro. Last year, we had a Hispanic female on one side of town, okay, in my city. She had a knife, and she was, there was a standoff, 2 hour standoff. They took her into custody. On the other side of town, they went into a senior building, and they encountered a woman with a mental illness. They didn't encounter her, they lured her. They were antagonizing her outside of her door. The police were antagonizing her outside of her door. Somebody called the police and said someone's in the hall with a knife. The woman's inside her apartment, and not only that, the woman had mental illnesses. In the senior building, they have social workers, then they have security. Nobody told those cops that this woman had a mental illness. They antagonized her to the point that she came outside with the knife. Hispanic officer told the sergeant on the scene, it's on a body camera. You can find a body camera. We draw her outside. When she come outside, I'm going to shoot her. That's what he said. The sergeant didn't think to say we're not doing that. And I know this dude personal. Went to school with him. The sergeant. I'm older than him, but he probably good 58 years old. But he didn't think to say, no, we're not doing that. When she came outside, maced her, tased her, hit her, dude just drew his pistol. Mexican dude just drew his pistol and just shot her like he was shooting into the goddamn silhouette at the range. And rehosted it like, you know how they do it when they showing off at the range?
Yeah.
That's how he did it. Like she was nothing. Like she was nobody's mother, nobody's sister, nobody's auntie, nobody's loved one. That's how he did her. He did her that damn dirty, bro. And that shit was damn crazy, bro. He did her that damn dirty.
Man, see, man, that's why cops should be from that community and city, at least be from the state, so you can have somewhat of compassion, and you're gonna know some people, you won't be so harsh and cold-blooded. But I do understand one thing though, especially out here in LA, and Tupac said it. A lot of people know it. It's a gang. So
yeah, definitely a gang, bro.
So
definitely a gang, brother T. And they go by the rules. And as a matter of fact, the rules were originated by them. See, a lot of our people don't even realize. See, You can't call the one who got played by COINTELPRO. That's the thing that our people get mixed up. They'll call the man or the brother or sister who got played COINTELPRO. Do you know that these motherfuckers gave them a lot of what they go stand on today? These undercovers, these CIA agents and these undercovers, the gang culture was given to them by law enforcement.
Talk about it.
Calling each other rats and snitches and stuff. That's some law enforcement shit. They live the same damn way and by the same code. They want you to snitch on your homie, but they won't snitch on a fellow officer who is committing crimes.
Gee, I just don't get it, man. Just don't get it. I mean, I do.
Everything that gang members stand on to this day was given to them by law enforcement.
Man.
Everything. And they only they will still stand on it and fight on that damn lie. Because these so-called gangs was not gangs. They were organizations, vanguard of our community, protecting the people. They were made gangs. I can't understand how that won't piss somebody off when they find that shit out, man.
Man.
That they've been played that way. But a lot of us will say this person is this person is that. No, you can't call the brother who got played COINTELPRO. He got played by COINTELPRO.
Yeah. And what messes me up is that, you know, especially out here, look, shouts out to all the gangs and all of that, but who taught you these Mason hand signs? Who gave these signs to you?
Well, maybe the fraternal order of police, perhaps. There's a goddamn fraternity anyway.
You know, these secret societies, man, I'm telling you, man.
You know, I see it like this, bro. We need to go accordingly. Some of us should have never been allowed to listen to conspiracy tapes or none of the secret society occultic stuff because we don't understand. Because if we know about it, the shit's no secret. So we should go accordingly to what we know about them. And don't hold on to anything that they gave us or what they will offer us. A lot of us will call each other. Do you know a lot of this stuff is done for us to look at each other with suspicion?
Yeah.
They want us to be suspicious of each other, and it's working. It's working.
Like a charm.
Because the first thing they do is call one of us an agent or somebody doing something, standing and acting on behalf of our people. They'll call them Boule or they'll call them COINTELPRO. A lot of them don't even know what COINTELPRO is. They heard somebody else say it, and they just walking around here running their mouth about something they don't even understand. It's counterintelligence. If you know what counter is, you throw a hook, I counter that shit. I slip it and counter it. That's what countering is. Counterintelligence. That means whatever intelligence that we gather, they counter it. That means that while we're sleeping, they're up in think tanks on how to counter our intelligence, how to keep us suspicious of each other, how to keep us apart and keep us from working with each other. With all the brilliant minds we have, nobody working together. That's a counterintelligence program. Nobody's working together, and nobody's willing to work with each other. And you propping people up, making them think that they the man. And as long as they think they the man, they can look down on their own people. All this individuality, no rank and file. I'm with the rank and file. I love the rank and file, bro. That's me. I love the rank and file. That's why I'm with camaraderie. But a lot A lot of us just want to be the damn man, bro. Not a man. They want to be the man.
Yeah.
But brother, I appreciate you coming up and hanging out with me this evening and your contribution to this stream. But you know, perhaps we will snap out of our ignorance. Perhaps we will, bro. We got too many brilliant thinkers to not be doing nothing collectively, bro.
You got that right, brother Nasir. I mean, listen, man. I mean, we're. I think that we do have brilliant minds, and we do have decent brothers and decent sisters running around here. I refuse to believe otherwise, or to know. I know we're very capable of working together and making things better. I'm very highly optimistic about our future, and the cleanup has to happen.
Yeah, we're capable, but are we willing? Because some of us, all we want to do is be comfortable in this system. If some of us can get comfortable in this system, some of us are content with that, bro. A lot of us, I'm gonna say this too. A lot of us can't distinguish the system, the establishment, the government. They can't distinguish it from our lineage. The two are not the same, bro. I don't understand this when Trump and the government's doing something. You got people saying we ain't do a goddamn thing. They did that. That means you can't distinguish your lineage from the soil, from the land. You can't distinguish that from the establishment. Stop talking. The two are not the same. This is not our damn government. It's their government. This is our land. This is our soil. This is our lineage. Two are not the same. You know when people start talking like that, this we shit, they're trying to find a comfortable place. There's no comfortable place. As a matter of fact, there's no place for you in it. You can't go and do nothing but business as fucking usual. Their business at that. Not business for your own damn people. You're going to conduct their business, you get in their system. And they will have you living comfortable as an individual, but try to do something for your people in totality and see how that works for you. You can't. They don't allow it. But some of us would rather find a comfortable place for ourselves than to act on behalf of our people and stand strong. All it takes is of doing whatever we want to do collectively. All it takes is to do it collectively. We'll be unstoppable collectively. But the individual shit, it's not going to work. Collectively, we strong as hell. There's some strong brothers be among us. Strong. But how many of us are willing to work? Some of our motives are impugned. Our motives is not to. Some of our motives is not to. It's not for all of us. Our motivation is not for the totality of our people. Some of our people motivation is themselves. That's it. And that's why that's why they can relate to dude in DC. Because he's a narcissist. He's exactly what this stream is about. Self-entitlement, narcissistic, and wanting special treatment. That's why some of them can relate to him. But you know, I don't know what it's going to take for us to realize that we have to do things collectively. And that's the only way anything will work with us, is to do it collectively. Again, my brother, I appreciate you coming through.
Man, Brother Nasir, it's an honor, you know, to even be here with you in your presence, you know, and thank you for educating me today. It's highly informative, you know, making comparisons to different fraud things going on in different states. I mean, that right there is, I'm never going to forget that. And shouts out to the brother that's the chief, that's really trying to, you know, put in the work. He's putting his life on the line, you know, for the cleanup too. So, man, it's always a pleasure, man. And thank you again for having me on, Brother Nasir. This is great. This was good.
I appreciate you coming through, brother, hanging out with me, and your contribution to the, you know, to the stream, brother. I want to thank P. Moses, the comrade P. Moses. First, I want to thank my wife, the executive producer of The Enemy's Public. I want to thank my wife. She holds me, brother. She holds me up. She don't hold me down. She holds me up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
James.
You know, intricate part of everything I do. You know, from waking up to going to sleep, brother. Intricate. To my brother P. Moses, my brother the Wingy Skates, my brother Milestone Thoughts, Big Dog Philly OG, Greedy Vegan, Smoke Signal. Let me see, Mama Chief, Voodoo Child. Didn't even know my good brother was in the chat. Much love to you, brother. Voodoo Child, Straight Smoke. Didn't know he was in it either. Bronze Flat Power Guy. I wasn't even looking at the chat, you know. And but thank the brother for coming through. Didn't know that. Alicia Dion. Thank all you for coming through. I appreciate that very much, for hanging out with the brother this evening as we go over self-entitlement and who deserves preferential treatment. Because some people think, you know, the world revolves around them. But thank you all for joining me this evening, brother. Until next time, this is The Enemy's Public, and I am Brother Nasir. Like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section. Peace.
Production. Giving out instruction. Hey. I just keep it intact. This is a fact, right and exact. I won't step back. Admiration is the feeling that inspires your brain to make you gain self-knowledge, not go insane.